Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on a new episode of Shingeki no Bahamut Version Soul, or you can call it Rage Bahamut Version Soul on episode 15. Now, this episode right here was actually pretty slick, not too bad. Although, it is pretty simple in a way, but it looks like to me it's revealed about, a couple things here and there. So, if anything else, let's go. After a certain recap of last week's episode, we have to it that there are actually, the most important demons, especially Lucifer himself, having a meeting and trying to be concerned about what's the next action to take. Lucifer, on the other hand, says we should wait until what happens with the humans, because he ends up making a point, which could happen later in the future, that the humans' power, it cannot be permanent. There has to be a certain time limit for them to that they could keep their power in check, be on top of the food chain, in other words. And while one of them is really wanting to go attack the humans now because of the actions of what they did, apparently the others go we have to stay put for now and listen to Lucifer's wise decisions, because if we end up repeating the same actions as the gods, there's no way in hell we will be surviving at this point. We'll be extinct or in danger. And we have to it that Nina and John are thrown to the land of the gods because Nina's grandmother, in other cases, which I've forgotten the old hag's name apparently, cannot move any further because the barrier is too strong for her. And of course she's very old, and we all know that. Even though she's got what it takes to transform and take him far, she doesn't have enough strength or energy to try to go through it like she possibly did last time. And we see to it that they managed to reach the land of the gods. And of course, Muguro-chan, or L, he is not feeling very well right now after what happened in the battle, and he's not cooperating. And we have to it that Bukas and Hamsa were given the order to keep an eye on him so they could possibly support him. In other words, we have to it that babysit him in other cases. As for Jean and Nina, they were actually enjoying themselves and got caught by some angel guards, heaven or God's guards. But we have to it that Jean and Nina introduces themselves, and Jean says, "I'm just here to look for my son. That's it. My name is Jean d'Arc, and my son's name is L." And therefore, one of them decides to believe him and decides to take him to a certain location of the heavens of the gods, but also take him to a certain location where I believe there's these particles, which I thought they might be some kind of energy source or possibly something else. But to my uttermost shock, surprisingly, it's actually the souls or the dead people of the gods. It happened 10 years ago with the Bahamut that a lot of gods died that time. Not to mention the previous war that happened many episodes ago, of course, which I don't know how long the time length is in there. More gods ends up dying, and they didn't, and pretty much she is the person who led them to the god's palace, etc., is really upset about this and blames the humans for everything. Although Nina's trying to think of her mind about Sherios is what are you trying to do, huh? Etc. But aside from that, we have to it that King Sherios is actually trying to keep a hold or something, which I do not know as well. Some kind of dimensional rift that he's trying to keep an eye on. If the situation calls for it, King Sherios says that I will use that device again, which is what's it called? The device that will that's equal to the Rage of Bahamut's power. But one of his subordinates tries to convince him otherwise. If you do it again, you'll lose more than just your eye. Although King Shario says, I won't hesitate though. I don't mind perishing if it's the case. And therefore, we have to, of course, I'm pretty sure all you guys might be thinking I forgot about Azazel. No, I did not forget him. I was just focusing on the little small parts that I think was that had more attention in my eye. Of course, Azazel is forced into the gladiator area and trying to fight for his life, obviously. Although he's trying to wonder to himself, why am I even trying to survive right now? And I can see where he's coming from, maybe because of his guilt. But we see to it that L manages to sense his mother, and we have to it that that he's just stood there for a while Bukis and Hamza was just confused. And as for John, she ends up meeting Sophia and Gabrielle. And of course, Gabrielle asked John to try to convince Elle to help him out again. Although her smile was very, very vicious right now, because it looks like to me she doesn't look like she's a good person or something, or a good god, because it's really, really suspicious just the way how she smiled at the end. I'm like, this is really gonna freak me out, because the fact of what she's doing, etc., is just not good. And we see the reunion between Jeanne d'Arc and her child, along with Nina, etc. And we have to it that that Muguro-chan tells his mother Jeanne, and it is confirmed that it is a he, although I should have realized it sooner, that that Azazel helped him out, and he followed the order from his mother, go to the person that helped you out first, okay, etc. And we have to it that L wants to get out of here and lead the gods and must rewrite evil. And of course, Gabriel tries to tell him to be careful with his arrogance. L seems like he's kind of getting too full of himself right here. Especially that smile right there, saying that the only person that could save the world, correct everything, is not Gabrielle, but me alone. I'm thinking in my mind, L, you're getting too full of yourself. You do understand the power. I understand you have a lot of power, but know this, that your own arrogance and thinking that you got what it takes is just gonna lead you down to hell. I mean, I'm pretty sure every single one of us seen something like that in real life, or in fictional stories or non-fictional stories, that sometimes these kinds of actions of you saying that you could do this and that is only going to cause you major mischief in the end. But aside from me rambling on, it did end off there with L, or the Golden Child, says, I am the only one who can save mankind and fix it up, etc. Next episode is City of the Gods Part 2, and there was a little small talk between Azazel and Lucifer, which is pretty hilarious in a certain way. But that's about it. I look forward to seeing next episode, and it's getting close to maybe towards the end. I can't believe we're already on episode 15. I wish there was more episodes, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. But we'll have to find out later. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm out for Zoro, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toodaloo!